2011 when Old Dominion did it. And, of course, UNC-W, the defending champions and the #1 seed. And right now, looking like they could get into that championship game for the second year in a row. But we'll see what the Tribe has to say about that. Underway with William and Mary gaining first possession, and Omar Pruitt right out of the gate, an aggressive play by the senior.
And even though he was well guarded, he got squared to the basket before he shot that ball, which is always critical for him. Sometimes he doesn't.
Now the stops have to come for the Tribe.
By the way, I think Thomas Jefferson just tweeted, "We're going to make the tournament this year. Count on it." Fairly distinguished graduate of William.
Very distinguished. 6 to shoot. Fleming's will. Challenged by Whitman into the hands of Bryce, however, but Whitman comes away. Malinowski on the move, settles things down, waits for senior Omar Pruitt to join the attack.
They could really use a basket here to get off to a quick start and gain a little bit of momentum.
It's Bryce, as you mentioned, John, now watching David Cohn, who was so effective in that first half with the 15 points.
Kevin Keats mentioned they lost him a couple of times, and Bryce doesn't lose people. So I doubt if David Cohn will be able to get as many shots as he did in the first half.
Ambrose Mosley, one more to Ingram.
Wow. I mean, you got a point guard who can do so many things, and he was standing right next to Marty Aronoff when he shot that. He's now 3 for 4 on threes in this game, and they've all been from deep except for the one where he was, question was whether he's on the line or not.
Aycock just picks up the personal foul. That's going to be number 3 on it. Or in second, they're going to give it to Aycock for his second. I tell you what, though, you just, again, saw what to me is so special about UNC-W. You've got Chris Flemings wide open at the top of the key. First team All-CAA performer. What does he do? Gets the extra pass to the even better option for the offense.
Both these teams are very good at the extra pass. There's an example right there.
And David Cohn picks up where he left off. He's up to 18 points for the Tribe.
And there was a switch there on the defense, which was recognized by Dixon. And Ingram was on him, but not close enough to him. And Cohn just picked up where he left off.
But now they need defense. Fleming's challenged, backed it out.
I'm sure Kevin Keats very disappointed with Aycock in the first half because he did miss a shot.
Look at Fleming's on the attack, and a blocking foul is called on number 34, David Cohn.
It's his second foul. Let's see. Here comes the drive, and here comes, boy, that looked to me like he got there, didn't it? He was outside the arc. But Bill Covington thought he was still moving. And actually, Cohn just said, he's the one guy. Yeah, I was moving a little bit.
Just a hair.
Just a little bit. It's like that commercial where the kid tells his coach, I fouled him.
Yeah. But they don't show him the rest of that commercial, or his teammates go,
What are you talking about? You know the famous story when Jack Nicklaus gave Tony Jacklin the putt in a Ryder Cup and it ended up a draw? The captain of that team was Sam Snead, and he was furious with Nicklaus. He said, we didn't come all the way over here to tie. One of the most famous moments in golf history.
Well, Fleming's free throws gets it back to 10.
Trying a little too hard on that pass.
And instead of bouncing up to the waist, it was down below the knees. And Omar Pruitt couldn't snag it.
He had to make a Julio Jones catch there. The only good thing about it was not a live ball turnover. Got to set up their defense and they get a turnover.
And Whitman, with a lot of contact on Aycock, does deny the alley-oop.
Nice ball movement there.
Malinowski buries it from the corner.
First 3 of the day for Malinowski. Couldn't come at a better time. Cohn with the pass. Tony Shaver said he needed a good game out of him. He's certainly gotten that. Now he needs his stars to really step up. Excuse the cliche.
2 outstanding plays by Whitman on the defensive end.
Whitman doing a good job on the boards, too. Has for the entire game. That was his 8th rebound.
Step back by Malinowski.
No, he can't shoot a step back. He's not in the NBA. Got carried away and then turned his head on defense.
Bryce lost, and Bryce made him pay.
Again, Tony Shaver talking about mistakes, and he said, you got to remember sometimes they're kids.
So 3 different players now for UNC-W in double figures. Ingram and Bryce with 12, Kaycock with 10, and Chris Fleming's lurking with 8. So Tony Shaver's got, again, one of your pick-your-poison situations on who do you concentrate.
Malinowski's going to get a moment to think about those mistakes, and Rowley comes back in. Tony Shaver hoping he can continue hot as he was in the first half.
Dixon needs this.
Oh, boy, that was big. He'd been short on most of his shots in the first half. That was a swish. Now the William & Mary crowd gets into it.
So Daniel Dixon now with 6 points. Fleming's wide open. He's in double figures with 11.
Yeah, you said Fleming's was lurking with 8. So he lurked to 11 when they needed a bucket. He reminds me a little bit of Vern Fleming. Remember Vern Fleming played at Georgia?
Yeah.
He's long. He can really shoot it. Very smart.
Cone needs some help and gets it from Pruitt. He'll try one and got it. So a good sign for William & Mary. The seniors, the seniors Pruitt and Dixon with back-to-back threes.
Suddenly we're in a shooting gallery here. Fleming's got fouled.
But there was a whistle by Remy Styons before the contact underneath, so we'll see how this gets sorted out.
And David Cone seemed to think it was a double foul.
We'll have it all sorted out for you. Our officials will get to the monitors to check things out. It's a 6-point game thanks to some deadly three-point shooting and beautiful passing.
In there, but the way he did it and then almost tackled him, it becomes a contact technical. So the original foul was on the floor, non-shooting. The technical foul is 2 shots because it's a contact technical, and then it will be Wilmington's ball because of the technical. So this could be a very key sequence.
And Denzel Ingram at the stripe to add to the miseries of the Tribe, with Rowley getting that technical.
Much more Paul Rowley, because there are 2 fouls on him on that play, now has 4. And that doesn't help William & Mary's cause at all. It does help Wilmington's cause.
And a great free throw shooter buries the pair. And as you mentioned, John, here come the Seahawks with possession of the basketball.
And interestingly, Rowley's still on the floor. And
well, they're waiting for Greg Malinowski to check in, and Tony Shaver's asking Bill Covington Jr., after the 2 free throws, why can't he check in?
And I think Bill Covington Jr. is saying that he wasn't at the table in time to check in. So he's going to have to stay in until the next whistle. Usually they'll cut you some slack there.
So keep an eye on if UNC-W tries to do anything to
go right at Rowley. Yeah, absolutely.
Right now it's Fleming's, watched by Rowley, and Fleming's has it, but gives it up quickly.
Rowley retreating on defense.
Nice hands by Dixon to knock it away, and it's turned over. Up ahead to Nathan Knight, but Jordan Talley got back.
And created the turnover. What a great play by Talley. That should be Wilmington ball. And let's make sure Knight's okay.
Yeah, Nathan Knight ran into our camera operator underneath the basket and very slow to get up. Our camera operator, thankfully, does look okay, and so does Nathan Knight.
No harm, no foul, but a turnover for William & Mary. And the only good thing for them is that on the dead ball, they can get Rowley out of the game.
Well, Chris was outside the restricted area, took the charge, and right back to work.
Absolutely.
That's toughness.
Didn't even need the training. Nice drive.
Oh, man. What can Fleming's do for you? Do you need a 3? Absolutely. Do you need a penetration and a kiss? He can get it done there as well.
Well, and it was his drive to the goal that led to that foul and technical foul on Rowley. Big play in the game, and there's a big play for Pruitt because they desperately needed that basket.
And this is on Devontae Kaycock, so he picks up number 3.
Looks like Kevin Keats is not going to take him out of the game at this point, unless he changes his mind. He's looking at the bench. Now let's watch Pruitt. See if he does a deep knee bend here or not. Yeah, he did. But he made it.
Rattled this one home. So, Devontae Caycock with his 3 personals stays in the contest. Jordan Talley is in.
And Mary extending its defense here a little bit.
Flemings finds Jordan Talley. They go cross court to Ingram. Now with 5 to shoot. Rice deep. Ingram at the buzzer. Got it!
That's his spot. And the first time he caught it there, Dixon was out on him. That time Dixon had moved to the middle of the court a little bit, and he had just enough space.
Denzel Ingram, 4 of 6 from behind the arc. He's got 17. Nathan Knight going against Caycock. He'll pull up for the jumper and is fouled.
And that was a silly foul by Caycock. That's 4, and it was on Nathan Knight. You beg him to shoot from there.
So an interesting decision to keep him in, and it could cost Kevin Keats. The final 15 minutes are presented by Geico, where 15 minutes makes all the difference. We revisit John Feinstein's Geico keys to the game.
Well, it's interesting because Cone has commanded. He's played the game that Tony Shaver was hoping he'd play. Take away the tray. Wilmington has done a good job in the sense that even though William & Mary has made some threes, they've answered with better three-point shooting. And that's one of the main reasons for this margin. Nathan Knight still scoreless in this tournament, which is stunning. They really needed him to have a big game today, and he just hasn't been able to get his act together. Finally breaks the maiden.
Maybe that will help. Now we see with Caycock in foul trouble with the 4, Marcus Bryan coming in, not the big man, Chuckaboto. So obviously Kevin Keats feeling the athleticism of smaller lineup to go against William & Mary is the way to go.
And Bryan played solidly off the bench in the first half too, so when he came in.
Look at Talley finding Flemings, and Pruitt gets another foul. So Omar Pruitt, he's got 3.
Again, that was a great pass and a great fake by Flemings to get Pruitt, who's such a good athletic defender, but watch him get him off the floor here. Goes up, fakes, whoops, right over the back. And fortunately, Pruitt wasn't hurt. He could have landed badly, but he didn't. But completely faked out, and it's only actually almost avoided it, but his right leg got him going by. One thing I will say, if Thomas Jefferson is watching, is if there's any team in this league capable of overcoming a 12-point deficit fairly quickly, it's William & Mary if they get hot.
But that 12-point lead for UNC-W, the largest of the game, as we've completed 7 minutes of this second half. Now, that's a good look.
Maybe that free throw got him going.
Knight.
That's what he can do. That's why they need him, because he can make shots in the low post. Very effective scorer in there most of the season.
Quickness of Talley on display again, but Knight got it on the way up.
That was a great block by Knight. I thought Talley had a layup.
The leader in blocks in the CAA is freshman Nathan Knight with over 1.5 a game.
Oh, boy, that was a dumb foul by Todd. The shot clock was at 3, and he just banged right into it. And that gives him a new 30 because it's only the 5th foul. There you see Knight coming over with the block.
Talley went
flying into the stanchion. Wow. Fortunately, one of our cameramen didn't go down again.
Fleming stepped out of bounds.
No, he got fouled. Wow. I thought the same thing you thought.
It's going to be on Greg Malinowski.
And that is 16 fouls for William & Mary. And as you mentioned, UNC-W, good free throw shooting team. Not great, but good.
Yeah. Both these sides hover right around the 69-70% mark from the stripe.
But the Seahawks' top guys are in the high 70s.
Ingram again.
That's not his spot. He's better on the angle from the side than from right in front of the basket. Nice pass. Dixon was going to shoot, and he realized he was well guarded and spotted Knight under the basket. And all of a sudden, Nathan Knight, who went 68 minutes without a point, has 5 in the last 2.
And he's got the last 5 William & Mary points.
Oh, nice cut. And that foul, I think, will be on Knight.
And it'll get Chris Flemings back to the free throw line. That's where the Seahawks could wrap this thing up, but they've been doing a dynamite job offensively, particularly Denzel Ingram. He's got a spot on the Flemings. It's Talley, it's Ingram. UNC Wilmington just has not let William & Mary get any rhythm in this second half.
Well, this is how good UNC-W has been. William & Mary shot 54% in this half, 4 for 4 from 3, and they've cut the margin by 1 as of that free throw, and maybe by none after the next one. And that's how efficient UNC-W has been. As you said, you've got to pick your poison with that. There's never anybody on the floor who you can leave.
And even though their outstanding center, Devontae Kaycock, is in foul trouble with 4 and it sits on the bench, the Seahawks only have 3 as a team as we approach the 11-minute mark.
Bryan is a very effective defender, although there's a nice back cut by Pruitt and a good pass by Knight, who all of a sudden looks like the guy who we thought was one of the best rookies in the league most of the season.
Well, without Kaycock in there, maybe Nathan Knight can exploit things, but Marcus Bryan does make the Seahawks pay. I mentioned Marcus Bryan has been a good tournament performer. Remember, he had 16 points last year, John, in the win against College of Charleston in the first round as Nathan Knight comes along.
And they needed all 16 of those points in that win. Remember, it went right to the wire.
And Kevin Keith said that was a real turning point in the tournament for them. They got the scare that a lot of good teams almost need early on in a run. Wow, here we go with the answer. After a great play at one end, a silencer from Bryce at the other.
And that's what I mean. There's nothing wrong in this half with William & Mary's offense. They cannot get a stop. Another great pass and another dunk.
So finally, Nathan Knight, after not scoring at all, 11 of 13 are the Tribe in this half. And Justin Pierce is going to foul Chris Flemings and get him back to the line.
Well, they're 11 of 13, and if Flemings makes these 2 free throws, they'll have gone from 10 down to 10 down.
Despite being near perfect in the second half.
And they've been moving the ball so well. When they run their offense well, there you see that's a nice back cut there by Pruitt. Great top of the key pass. That's kind of Princeton offense style. And here you see another good pass by Dixon, in this case, to an open Knight.
So Omar Pruitt, as we were giving you those replays, it was the senior Pruitt now with 4 fouls. So that becomes an even no disrespect to Devontae Kaycock, an outstanding young performer. But Tony Shaver knows with exactly 10:01 to go what that is going to mean for William & Mary.
And he's going to come out, but he can't come out for very long at this stage of the game. And Omar Pruitt not really happy with that call. He pleaded his case first to Ramey Steins, got nowhere, and then tried to plead it to Bill Covington Jr. and got just as far. Nowhere.
So Chuck Ogbodo Jr. will check in for his first action this afternoon, the senior big man from Nigeria. And Chris Flemings continues to just be perfect at the line, 9 of 9.
Yeah, that's perfect.
And devastating to the Tribe.
And Malinowski now bringing the ball up against the pressure.
Bone made a little backdoor cut, didn't get the basketball.
No, he didn't get the basketball because he was guarded. It's a good thing he didn't get the basketball. And that pass was deflected out of bounds.
The great reach of Chris Flemings means William & Mary has 10 to shoot.
Deflection's so underrated in basketball. They don't have to lead to a turnover, but they can disrupt an offense. And most coaches track deflections and will tell you if you get 40 deflections in a game and shoot 45%, you will not lose. That's something Rick Pitino first came up with.
5 to go. Cohen will launch. Way off the mark.
Launch is the word, but great rebound there by Pierce, who we haven't seen all weekend. And out of semi-desperation because of the foul trouble for Omar Pruitt, he brought Pierce into the game, and he gets that weak side rebound. Watch this. The ball barely grazes the rim on the side, which is key. And there's Pierce with the weak side rebound, makes the shot, and gets fouled. And he is a freshman who Tony Shaver thinks is going to have a lot of minutes in the future. He likes his game a lot.
To that point, the only mark next to Justin Pierce's name had been a earlier personal foul. So he could really add something in a big way here.
He can shoot. As he bricks the free throw, of course. Thanks, Justin. But he is a good shooter. He's a good three-point shooter. Remember, he had to play a lot of minutes in that Towson game in Baltimore when Pruitt was hurt. Played very well.
Ingram again gets things the way of the Seahawks after a nice play by William and Mary.
There's a foul that
will be on Ambrose Mosley.
Mosley did not want to commit 45 feet from the basket to stop the clock, but it's only the 5th foul, so they won't shoot. It's funny. Do you notice how whenever a coach picks up a basketball and the official's over near him and he hands it back or passes it back, he's always got something to say.
Yes.
How's it going? Having a nice afternoon? Enjoying Charleston?
Had any shrimp and grits?
Yeah.
See if Whitman can take advantage of anything on the photo. It's tough against Kaycock, and that free Whitman up.
That was an experienced player. Talk about having a deep bench. You called it, though. Whitman got fouled by Aboto. Wilmington fans don't agree. Kevin Keats doesn't agree. He's got one foot up on a chair there. Let's see what we see here. Here's about, well, yeah, I see why they're complaining, because Whitman initiated the contact there. That's one of those, again, I think call that. I didn't see any great advantage gained either way, and it was the offensive player who initiated the contact. But basketball tradition is that call goes against the defender. The greatest player I ever saw at initiating contact and getting the foul line was Jeff Lamp at Virginia. He would shot fake, jump right up into the defender, and every time the foul was on the defender. He was great.
And now we had, even though Whitman missed it, we've got a lane violation that would have wiped it out even if he had made it. I'll tell you what, I can't imagine if you said to Tony Shaver before the start of the second half, Tony, relax, you'll be shooting 80% in the second half, you'll be fine. However, a 69% clip that UNC Wilmington is operating on the second half has changed all that.
They've cut 1 point out of the lead. No, they haven't. Again, Ingram from the angle. You just can't let him shoot from there.
How many times has Denzel Ingram, after a good play at one end, made sure that no momentum ever comes?
Remember I said he's their starter. Starts everything, both ends of the floor. Pass a little deep there. And fortunately for William and Mary, they retain possession.
So it is a pick-your-poison team, the UNC-W Seahawks. Look at this group and what they have done. Those are all guys who are either first, second, or third team all-CAA performers. And in the case, of course, Kaycock is the defensive player of the year. But
that's why he's only got 10 points.
Yeah, and he's in foul trouble. That's the only reason also.
Oops, coming right at us. And he stepped out of bounds. Almost. Amy Stein's right on that call. Had perfect angle on it. And Bill Covington talking it over. And the question is it a new 30-second? Because was there possession? And there was. And there you see, left foot right on the line. See Al Koken, perfect view. Amy Stein's, more importantly, perfect view. And it is a new 30-second clock because Mosley did have possession there for one dribble.
More outstanding camera work and replay work by the men and women in our CSN crew today. Malinowski, there's a free shot, and he can't get it. That's his shot, John.
Yep, no. Tony Shaver over there on the sideline can't complain about the shot, just the result. As I said, there's just no margin for error. Anytime they miss, the lead goes up a little bit. haven't missed much.
Nor has Denzel Ingram. 25 points.
Yeah,
for
he just
Ingram.
got teed up for taunting. And Tony Chiazza was right on that. And absolutely correct. Great shot by Ingram, but he got a little carried away after making it because the lead's now 14.
So it's a two-pointer that makes it 24 points for Denzel Ingram. Either way, he has been the absolute. Denzel Ingram didn't tweet his taunt. It was actually right to the face and was not appreciated by Remy Styons.
I think it was Tony Chiazza over there, actually, but same thing. There you see he's talking right in Daniel Dixon's face there as he goes back down the court, and Chiazza's right there. If you're going to taunt, make sure nobody in stripes is around. That would be my advice. So we get the 2 points back, and of course it would have been their basketball anyway off the made basket, as opposed to the technical earlier on Rowley when it gave Wilmington an extra possession in addition to the 2 free throws. This was a contact technical on defense. Time's starting to run a little short on William and Mary here. That, as you said, their offense has been fine. They just cannot stop UNC Wilmington, even with Devontae Caycock off the floor.
Dixon, the hesitation, draws contact and turns it over. He's on the deck, and here comes Bryce.
4-on-4 because both Flemings and Dixon were on the floor. Dixon's hurt. He's holding on to his left hip there.
And I think Tony Shaver now about to put in Connor Birchfield, a three-point shooting specialist. He may have to take some gambles deep. And Omar Pruitt, there is a gamble with those 4 personals back in with 6:40 to go.
Got no choice. Margin's 14. No sign that UNC-W is going to slow up anytime soon. There's what Omar Pruitt can do so well. Let's get to the basket. That's why he's so dangerous when he's shooting well from outside, because you know he can take it to the basket.
Pruitt with 18 despite being plagued with those 4 personal fouls. Both he and Paul Rowley with 4 each. Chris Fleming's off the window.
And you just kind of go, too good. Too good. It's the old Dean Smith line about the other team gives scholarships too. Well, Kevin Keats has given scholarships to some really good players.
In just 3 seasons in Wilmington, Kevin Keats has dramatically turned this program around. And thanks to guys like Chris Flemings, who he brought in.
See, that wasn't bad defense there. They forced him under the basket, but he said, that's no problem. I'll just reverse it in.
Chris Fleming spent his first 2 years at Barton College and comes to UNC Wilmington and has made an impact, as this man, now up to 20 points for Omar Pruitt. That is the 12th time this season he's gotten 20 or more.
He was triple teamed on that play and still managed to get the shot to go down.
Wow. Headline, Ingram misses, but right there to put it back in is Chakaboto.
Right, and when Ingram misses, it's usually when he's straight on the basket. If he's on an angle somewhere, he's money. David Cohn's been relatively quiet in this half after 15 points in the first half. Made an early 3.
And Fleming's doing the defensive job on him. Pruitt was looking for a 3 that could have been a big one.
William & Mary is out of time to miss shots at this point, under 5 minutes.
The step back by Bryce, way off the mark.
I never like the college player to shoot a step back. They'll make one on occasion, but usually they're not good enough to make step backs yet. That's an NBA thing.
Nathan Knight, he has got it all in this second half. 5 of 5 from the field.
I'm going to take a wild guess that's the longest shot he's made all season, because he just doesn't shoot from out there that much.
11 points for Nathan Knight. He's been a hero this half. And again, Ambrose Mosley buries a 3.
Look at the stats at the end of this game, and if you don't know the score, you're going to say, wow, William & Mary really played well.
A blocking foul with Malinowski finishes his drive. A 3-point play opportunity ahead.
That's 4 on Mosley. So both teams with some foul trouble here.
Haycock and Mosley with 4 for UNC-W.
Mosley gets a step, and that's absolutely a blocking foul. Mosley was moving to his right. Randy Stein's right on it. And these are 3 good officials out. They'll miss a call here and there, but not very often.
It still amazes me, John, in the second half. 76% from the field for William & Mary, answered by 71% Kevin Keats and the Seahawks.
76%, and they've only been outscored by 2.
Right. You know, it's funny because UNC-W in their win yesterday, they allowed Delaware to shoot 58% in the second half, but they answered with 51% and more explosive.
But that's what Kevin Keats was talking about with the first game of the tournament. Is it takes you a while to get in your rhythm both on offense and defense. And they have certainly been in an offensive rhythm. That's what I said. Ingram from the side, he never misses. 6 out of 9, and all 3 of his misses have been from directly on front on the basket.
A total of 27 points for Denzel Ingram.
Lucky there, another deflection. Oh, what a move. That was a great move.
22 points now for Omar Pruitt.
He will play basketball somewhere next year.
But only 6 for his running mate, Daniel Dixon.
And Tony Shaver was realistic before this game. He said, we're going to have everybody clicking. And as you said, they haven't, particularly on defense.
Welcome back to the game, Devontae Haycock. Now a steal by Ambrose Mosley. Flemings couldn't get the second chance to go as both of those guys hit the deck. Can Dixon find something?
It's amazing how many of his shots today have come up short. Made that 1-3 start of the second half. Other than that, it's been really tough.
And the UNC-W fans who have come up from Wilmington starting to feel it. They've seen Denzel Ingram pour in 27 points, and he entering the career high for Denzel Ingram is 30. Ironically enough, last January 16th, not of this year, but of last year, against the tribe of William and Mary.
We said first team to 100 would win this game. I think we're right.
And you're getting very, very close.
And again, UNC-W has played virtually a perfect game offensively. 59% from the field, 71 in this half. They're now 21 of 25 free throws. They're 11 of 21 from 3. 11 of 21.
And from the free throw line, Chris Flemings is 11 of 11. Let's give us time to check in with Rob Carlin.
Guys, I was just listening to the UNC Wilmington huddle, and Kevin Keats said, guys, your offense has been fantastic. You're sharing the ball. This has been fun to watch. Coach clearly excited as his team closes in on 100 points again.
It has been as advertised, Rob, and you can't say that William and Mary didn't deliver some offensive fireworks in their own right. I do feel bad that Daniel Dixon, who commits the foul, it looks like.
Tally just got poked in the eye there. It was by accident.
David Cohn, because on the jump, it seemed like Tally got hit by the shoe of Daniel Dixon. But, John, we know what Daniel Dixon has meant to this William and Mary program, one of the key recruits to help turn things around in Williamsburg for Tony Shaver. And it's a tough way to see this fantastic young man go out as he's had his struggles today offensively. But down the stretch, he really has carried this William and Mary team this year.
Well, they wouldn't be playing today if Daniel Dixon wasn't on this team. He made key shots yesterday. He's made key shots throughout his career. And as you said, he's obviously had a very tough day today. He's now 2 for 11 from the field. Omar Pruitt's had a great second half, by the way, 7 out of 8. But these two guys have had great careers at William and Mary. And as I said, most college basketball players' last game is a loss.
And along with teammate Michael Schlottman, it's the best senior class in William and Mary history with 77 wins for Dixon, Pruitt, and Schlottman.
77 wins in 4 years. I'm going to take a guess they didn't win 77 in 10 years before Tony Shaver got here.
There is Daniel Dixon. Can he get up to double figures for the 24th straight game? He's at 9 right now.
And the team that has 100, I think, is going to win this game. Take that guess. 1:46 to go.
Well, actually, he's at 10, so I'm going to give him one more point, so he is in double figures. And here are the seniors today, as this is the way their William and Mary CAA career will end. And it's nice to see Dixon at least get to those double figures one more time.
And Pruitt had a very good second half. He was 7 out of 9 from the field. And as we said, nothing wrong with the William & Mary offense. UNC-W's offense has just been better.
Well, whoever the Seahawks will face in tomorrow's finals, going to be of the better defensive teams in the conference, both Towson and the College of Charleston right there amongst the best. So that's going to be an interesting, which is going to prove to be the better. UNC Wilmington, though, at the stripe with 16 in a row. If they have any foul situations to their advantage, that's another way they can make you pay offensively.
I tell you, Omar Pruitt's put on quite a show here in the second half. It's just not going to be enough. And pace of play will be critical in that game tomorrow night, regardless of who UNC-W plays. If they play, whether they play Towson or Charleston, because Towson and Charleston is going to want the game under 70. Wilmington's going to want it over 80.
Coming up 1/2 hour after we are completed here will be the second-seeded Cougars of the College of Charleston against the third-seeded Towson Tigers. Big game.
He missed a free throw out.
Wow, there you got a bulletin. And here is the other senior we talked about, Michael Schlottman, coming on in as David Cohn, who was absolutely spectacular in the first half to at least keep William & Mary around. He finishes with a season high of 18 points, 5 below his career high of 23.
They did do a good job of finding him, though, in the second half, didn't they, after he made that early three?
There's a foul on Jalen Thorns. Omar Pruitt will be shooting free throws, and I would imagine you would want to see.
Actually, that was only their 6th foul.
Well, I thought that was a shooting foul. Malinowski drains to 3. As now we're getting to the 1-minute mark in this contest. Look at William & Mary. They're still playing some defense, and Malinowski picks up the personal.
Well, when it's your last game of the season, the inclination is to play to the buzzer.
4 now on Malinowski.
I wonder if Tony Shaver's going to get Omar Pruitt out so he doesn't end his career fouling out.
Well, we see Justin Pierce about to check in. Connor Birchfield will do that as well. I think the seniors are going to get a little bit of a... No, it's going to be Malinowski coming out. Yeah. And Connor Birchfield comes in for
Dixon.
For Daniel Dixon, who still is kind of hanging his head.
It's always a sad moment. Very sad moment for a senior. Because basketball is really all you've known in your life. It's been the driving force in your life. And here comes Pruitt, too.
And you can see Dixon ahead of him pulling the jersey up to hide.
That's to hide the tears. And they're coming for Pruitt now, too. It's always a tough, emotional moment. And I've seen it a million times, and I always get emotional anyway. For anybody. Especially kids who have not only been great players, but just terrific young men. Done their school proud. Thomas Jefferson would be proud of.
Would be very proud.
James Madison, too.
And Jordan Talley, a well-deserved round of applause. This young man, he was an All-CA rookie team member back in the 14-15 season, but has been coming off the bench this year. And what a tournament he has had. He has been a huge factor. 9 points, 5 assists for Jordan Talley this afternoon.
And he had 16 and 4 yesterday. And they needed him yesterday with Fleming's in foul trouble.
Mosley had gotten into foul trouble as well, but boy, when you can have a backup point guard, the ability of Jordan Talley is another look at the last William & Mary game in CAA competition for Daniel Dixon. And he is going to be a man that's going to take a long time to console. He's been their Dean Ehlers Award nominee for the last couple of seasons, so he's a tremendous student as well.
Well, what's tough, especially in the case of William & Mary, this group wanted so badly to get William & Mary to the NCAA tournament. They came so close when they were freshmen in that game against Hofstra when they, Delaware, when they had the 7-point lead with 1:30 to go, and Delaware pulled it out by 1. And lost a great one, got to the final the next year, and had to go 2 overtimes to beat Hofstra, and then lost to Northeastern. Last year, lost a very difficult semifinal. And this year they just ran into a juggernaut in this game today. Schlottman will get a chance to score in his last game.
Jamison Glover has come in for William and Mary. And coming in is Nick Powell, number 14. He picks up the personal foul as he gets some time in for the UNC-W Seahawks. Jaquel Richmond also into the contest. And we're seeing the same thing with Matt Elmore, the freshman from Jacksonville, North Carolina.
Michael Schlottman gets into the box score in his last game. I always like to see that, too, for a senior who came to William & Mary with high hopes and had a groin injury as a sophomore and really never got his confidence or his quickness back. Both teams still battling out here.
Schlottman not going quietly.
Schlottman doesn't want. He called timeout. Schlottman called timeout to keep the possession, and maybe Steins gave it to him.
So we're going to take a quick step away. Back to final seconds of the semifinal game number 1. And the number 1 seed, UNC-W, ready to move on into tomorrow's championship game for the second time in 2 years. This has been the most points in a tournament game since Old Dominion scored 110 against George Mason down back in 1995. Something tells me we won't be seeing that tomorrow, but it will be UNC Wilmington moving on in a chance to defend their championship and get back for Kevin Keats to the NCAA tournament for the second year in a row. They will come in with a record of 28-5 after their win today.